First off, a massive congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I feel good. I mean, you know, it is always a harrowing process putting out a movie. You put years of your life into doing one thing forever, and you spend so much time doing it. And as much as what I enjoy about movies is really making the movies, you know, not releasing them. But you still want people to react well to the film. And the fact that we've had the reception we've had has been really, really cool.
Eyes up here.
At what point during the making of this film did you breathe that sigh of relief of like, you know what, I know this is going to be a fantastic superhero movie?
Never. I never breath. I still am not totally breathing a sigh of relief.
You can breathe the sigh of relief. To say it is fantastic is an understatement. Just hearing the initial reactions, I mean, how proud are you?
It's relief more than it is pride. It's like, I'm relieved, you know. I really love the movie, and the fact that it's touching other people is really, really nice. The fact that Superman fans who, you know, some of these people build so much of their lives around Superman, the fact that they love the movie so much, that means a great deal to me.
I do want to talk about a few cameos.
You got it.
One being Bradley Cooper. Is he like your secret weapon?
Yeah, well, Bradley's a friend of mine, and I needed somebody who was, you know, who could play Jor-El, and I don't think this is a spoiler, everybody knows about this, who had the stature of what we imagined that character being, somebody who could walk in the footsteps of Marlon Brando. But I also didn't want to have, you know, a lot of times Jor-El is played by a 70-year-old man, and that means he was 70 when he had a baby, so I wanted somebody that wasn't, you know, too old, like everybody was bringing up all these actors that were too old for me. So, yeah, I think that Bradley was perfect. He did it for me as a favor because he's my friend, and I really appreciate him doing it.
David's pissed, though, that he didn't get to actually meet this guy, he says. That's what he said. He goes, I still haven't even met the guy.
Well, he'll be surprised to know that many of the Guardians barely have ever met, you know, Bradley, because he was always doing Rocket and doing it with me, and so we became very close. But I think he's met Pom Clementius maybe 2 times.
Wow. What was that like for Bradley doing his scenes?
It was great. I mean, so he and Angela, who plays Lara, who's fantastic as well, they had to sit in this big booth with all these cameras because we're actually creating a real hologram of them that then we would use throughout the shooting. And they kind of came in and nailed it, so it was pretty easy.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Sure.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Of course, there's heart, there's humor, there's action, and there is David and Rachel as the dynamic duo that just, oh my gosh, is so captivating on screen. Their chemistry, I mean, you can feel it from your seat. But what is it about those two that you looked for when casting these characters?
Just so much. I mean, for David, I really needed somebody who looked like Superman, first of all, but who also had the, you know, the dramatic chops, the comedic chops, and also was able to, you know, do all the athletic stuff that we had. With Rachel, with Lois, I wanted somebody that was his equal in the force of nature. Like that scene where they're talking for 10 minutes, like she has him on the back foot, and you go, oh, I see. This is not a one-sided, like Lois all being Guga in love with Superman. She's the force of nature, and she's the one who's deciding, is this thing going to last or not? And then lastly, I needed to see them together. So we had 3 finalists for Lois, 3 finalists for Superman. We had them all read together. Everyone knows Nick Holt was one of the finalists for Superman. And the truth is, Nick had better chemistry with a different Lois because they were kind of, he's the more contained one and she's the more wild one. And with David and Rachel, Rachel's the more contained one and David's a little bit more, he's a Superman that, you know, he's going to go off and save somebody without thinking about it. He's got a little bit of that chaos energy about him. And so that, to me, is what really created that chemistry on screen, was those different magnetic forces.
Superman. He's not a man. He's an it. He's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation.
Those conversations with Nicholas of hey, I actually think you would be more fantastic
Yeah.
as Lex. Like, I feel like this would work well. Were there moments on set where you guys kind of had like a thing between you where you're like, see, this it works?
Yeah, I mean, you mean after he was cast?
Yes, after.
Oh,
Because I believe-
definitely. Oh, definitely. I mean, he came in, and I was scared to talk to him after he auditioned for Superman because that can be a hard thing to get that far in the process and not get the job. But when I asked him about it, he just started chuckling, and he was like, I really was like, the whole time I was reading the script, I was thinking I might be this guy more. And when he came in, and then just to see how he owns it, and like honestly, all the women on set, they were in love with Lex. That was who the women loved. They
Plot twist.
they like a bad boy, and they loved Lex. All of the crew members and everybody. So he came in. He was just so dynamic and so great. And I think he's going to have as much of a future in these movies as David is.
And I told him too, like, everything happens for a reason. You always end up exactly where you were meant to end up.
Yeah.
I love it. He's the heartthrob.
I mean,
Lots
yeah,
of-
Billy Lazarus, his agent, called me up after he saw the cut, and he said, "Thank you so much for giving Nick the role he was born to play." And I was like, "Oh, that means so much. That's so great. That's so great."
What are you looking forward to the most that fans take away from this film?
I think we're living in a world with a lot of chaos and a lot of bad energy and a lot of meanness. And, you take on Superman and you go, oh, is this too nerdy, too Pollyanna, too old-fashioned? And I think, yeah, it is all those things. It is a character who has a sense of goodness and looking out for those who are in need and taking care of other people. And if that's Pollyanna, that's okay. He's the true rebel. He's the one who is going against the grain. So I hope they see that in the character, and that's something that we all kind of take upon ourselves as being our own Superman.
This is such a special role for David. It's a role of a lifetime professionally that happens simultaneously to him taking on a role of a lifetime personally as a new dad. I heard some sweet stories that, the cast would see him pushing, his baby around behind the scenes while he's still in full character.
Totally, yeah.
But watching him balance these two very huge new things happening at the same time, what was that like?
It was like reliving history because I made Guardians 3, and when Guardians 3 started, Chris came on the set with Jack, who was, a couple, 2 months old, and then I got to know Jack more and more as we went over the trilogy, and Chris is just such an amazing father, and so it was just like seeing the same thing again with David, and she's the funniest kid. She's so funny. She laughs so much. Like, I just like to make that kid laugh. And, I'll do anything to make her laugh.
And I said to him too, little girls always view their fathers as superheroes. She's gonna be in for a sweet surprise, like when she's older and people are like, oh yeah, my dad's my superhero. And she's like, no, my dad is actually
Is a
a
superhero. Yeah.